Oh, hey, ay, netas siem. Lemat at Swuq'us. Oh, tlim, ay, met at Swuq'us. Well, since we're all here together, let me tell you the story of Swuq'us. Now, long before I say anything else, the number one thing I need to highlight is that these are not my stories. These are ancestral stories that have been handed from generation to generation. And I am lucky enough to have had an opportunity to hear the elders use them and um, share them. And so I'm happy to have an opportunity to share it with you. But it's not yours, it's not mine, it is ours. Swuq'us. Swuq'us. Commonly known now as Mount Prevost. I think that's It's always been weird to me how we can normalize these new words, these new names. Like this was known as Swuq'us for thousands of years, and it's been known as Prevost for 100 years. But yet nobody knows the story of Swuq'us. So let's get all the way down to business, Jared? I'm just going to talk for days. That's how I am. I talk. So, Swuq'us. So in the time before time, in the time when the first humans arrived here, they say that our original first ancestors fell from the sky, and that one of them, everybody argue who was first. I'm not going to say who's first. One of them, Stutson, he landed right up there on Swuq'us Mountain. And when he landed, he was alone. And he walked down the mountain, and he walked to the lakes, and he went to the ocean, and he went back up this mountain and other mountains, and he went all over, and he learned all the trees, and he learned of all the flowers and the roots, and he learned of the river, and he learned everything he could learn. He was so knowledgeable, and all this exercise, he was so strong. They say he was so strong. Stutson. And one day, Stutson was lonely. He don't have no friends. Only one. One had landed. And so he asked Creator. He says, Creator, I'm lonely. I need a friend. Please, send me a friend. And he went about his business, walking as he would, walking down the mountain and going everywhere. And he was walking on the mountain, and they say that he found a new cave that he'd never seen. And he went into it, and he walked into it, and in the cave, there was a dog. A dog with a strange anomaly. This dog, according to the legends, could only walk with its nose in the air, like as elders would say. It's Qwustenuxun, squatty. That's to be snobby. You got your nose up all the time. But this dog had a problem with its neck. So it was always up. And so when you have a problem with your neck like that, where it's always crooked up, the old ones, our old word was Swuq'us. To be Swuq'us was to have, that issue with your neck. And so Swuq'us was a dog that was Swuq'us. And it would walk with its nose in the air everywhere, smelling the air, enjoying the light. And for a long time, Stutson and Swuq'us, they lived happily on the mountain. They went down the mountain, they went to the lakes and the rivers and the ocean, they went everywhere together. They were nutsamad. And after many years, you know, they say that it was years and years, longer than the average lifetime of a dog. As happens with all of our amazing animals who we love with our heart, they leave the earth well ahead of us and almost always too early. And so Swuq'us, when he got old, he lied upon the ground. When they were up on Swuq'us mountain one day, he lied down and he died. And Stutson was sad and he cried tears. And he sang songs and he did all of the proper ceremonies. And he took Swuq'us and he walked him up the mountain to the top. And then they say that he walked in between the two humps of Swuq'us mountain. And he laid Swuq'us to rest there between those two humps. And forevermore, whenever he would actually reach anybody else, when he was able to actually meet all of his relatives, the other ones who fell from the sky, he'd let everybody know that that is Swuq'us. That's where Swuq'us is. That is Swuq'us mountain. And for thousands of years, ancestors who even wear the name Stutson live now. They live here now. They remember, we remember Swuq'us mountain and the love a man can have with his amazing dog, and how that is a relationship that not other relationships can even come close to. And to add on to this fact, our tribe raised woolly dogs for thousands of years to create wool, to weave, to do things with. The Qwustenuxun, they had sheep. The Qwustenuxun, we had the woolly dog. Incredible. And we had genetically engineered over generations these woolly dogs to have soft white hair for us to use for weaving. And just while I got you on the line here, I'm going to add one other thing because it blows my mind. An elder once referenced that we were one of the last tribes that could travel over to the mainland and harvest mountain goat wool without harming the animal. You see, elders will often reference that there's not many mountain goats left, and when there were lots, they don't reproduce very quickly. So if you wanted to harvest their wool, you had to ensure you could do it without hurting the animal. And not all tribes, not all people knew how to do that. And within this elder's lifetime, he can recall a tribe on the mainland asking our tribe to travel over there to harvest that wool. So wool is woven into who we are, woven into our legends, woven into Swuq'us. So remember now, Swuq'us mountain. Why is it Swuq'us mountain? And why is that so important? Because it is. It's not Mount Prevost. Qwustenuxun. Use your ears. Swuq'us. Swuq'us. Easy. Swuq'us mountain. So thank you for allowing me to share with you the story of Swuq'us. Hey, hey. Have a good day.